Good day to you awesome folks, welcome to Pokémon X&Y Wi-Fi battle number 25. And you may be noticing by the quality of this first little scene here that we're actually getting capture card quality today, friends. Yes, we are. But no, alas, we do not currently own a capture card. It is actually footage from our battle with Captain Klefki. He was lucky, he was decent enough to send us the battle footage, so that we could have a nice, crisp and clean image for you guys for this battle. So it's going to be from his point of view, so we will appear as the opponent. So today we are bringing our Klefki, our Heatran, our Ferrothorn, our Scizorsome, Mega by the way, our Lucario, and our Skarmory! Skarmory is making his first ever appearance on the channel, guys. And in case you can't tell by the title or by the team, it is Mono-Monday! So that means that we are going to be bringing a team which solely comprises one type. Well, they can have subtypes as well. And as you can tell, we are going for the Steel type. Oh yes. I'm trying to think of a good joke about the Steel type, but I just can't iron out one. No? Is that bad? Yeah, so I suppose the unfortunate thing about this footage is that we don't really get to see a decent display of what our opponent is bringing. Now, let me see if I can remember here. He was bringing a mono water team, so automatically we're at a disadvantage because our main stabs will be resisted. Let's see. Yeah, he brought the Tentacruel, he brought the Swampert, the Gyarados, and also a Rotom Wash. What else? Come on, rack that old brain. Come on, old timer. Make that grey matter work for you, baby. Oh, I guess we'll find out in a minute. So, guys, this was the most awesome thing ever. I've been waiting for this ever since I bred and named Calgon. That's right, Calgon gets a first turn matchup against a Rotom Wash. In case you don't know, washing machines live longer with Calgon, so his name is supposed to be ironic because he is designed to kill washing machines. Just destroy them. Just obliterate their doors and just take all the washing out, throw it everywhere, and then wha-blam, blow them up. That's kind of how that's supposed to work. Because he's an offensive Ferrothorn. One Sword Stance and a Power Whip later, and no Rotom Wash is standing. No, sir. Not unless it's behind a Reflect, max defense, max HP. No, sir. So that is the plan here. I know that he can't stay on this, and if he does, it'll be to try and status us. So I'm going to set up the Sword Stance, hope that he decides to stay in, go for a Power Whip, and just destroy him. But I know that's more than likely not going to happen. So I decided to go for the SD anyway, so that we can hit whatever comes in hard. Unfortunately, it is the Tentacruel. I say unfortunately, because although we will resist it, it is going to keep scalding us to death. And we do not want that burn. We do not want that burn. We do not want to get our attack lowered. We are offensive. I mean, people normally think, burn on Ferrothorn, not the end of the world. It'll wear it down a little, but that's not so bad. It's got Leech Seed. No, this one is full offense, so a burn is really bad for us. Watch how Calgon shrugs this off. Oh, sorry. Is it raining, or did you attack me? And here comes that knockoff. Not bad damage at all. Although not that good considering we have used a Sword Stance. But Tentacruel's bulky as hell. And it's not stab. Unfortunately, our stab move, well, both of our stab moves, either do neutral or resisted damage against this guy. That is most unfortunate. And he gets the burn! Absolutely cripples Calgon with the burn. I mean, look, that's going to take at least another hit to KO him. Racking up passive damage, taking the Scald damage. And the thing is, I kind of predicted the Protect here, by the way. Decided to go for another SD so that we could definitely KO with the next Power Whip, and we're souped up to try and tear through as much of his team as possible, because as I was about to say, because we're offensive and slow, we're going to be taking hits nearly all the time, which we can't really afford to take because we're burned, it will take longer to do damage, and we're getting passive damage. So the chance to get another SD up was irresistible. I had a feeling he'd either switch out or go for a Protect, so I decided to go for the SD, take him down in one hit, and now we're in a fairly decent position to be able to take at least one hit from one of his Pokemon and deal out another Power Whip. Or so it appears. But we never know what he's got in store. See, I'd send in anything other than his Swampert. Because Swampert would just be an insane choice to send in right now. Oh yeah, I do apologise. There are some rather significant pauses in this battle. So I'm going to have to fill you guys in through it. Hope you like the capture card quality, by the way. That is going to be coming your way regularly in a couple of months when I get my own capture card. I'd say end of May. End of May is realistic. Okay, Ninja Gaiden, which is a really cool name. You wouldn't think it'd be much of a threat. But check out this Dark Pulse. Wham! Just down. I mean, Calgon is not the most specially bulky creature in the world, but he's got some bulk, man. And he just went down. I thought like 50 or so HP would have been enough to take a Dark Pulse. A Dark Pulse. Fair enough, it was Life Orb and Stab from a Greninja, and they're not anything to really smirk at. Okay, here comes Janitor the Klefki. The idea here is, if he switches out, we've got a screen set up. And then we'll have another chance to get a screen set up before he can attack again. So we'll have dual screens up, or he stays in, attacks, but we'll have already used light screen, so the attack will do basically nothing. So it will force him to switch in a way. And if he sends in something that can cause us trouble with status, Safeguard. I love our Klefki set. None of this cheap gimmickry. I'm not a big fan of swag play. I'm not a big fan of Swagger Thunderwave. I mean, I understand why people do it. It's cool. I'm just not a big fan of it. I prefer to run dual screens, you know, status immunities, and foul play. Foul play is a great move, but I just think swagger and all that jazz as well, I'm not a big fan of it. Too much reliance on confusion, in my opinion, for the most part. Now that Earthquake does decent damage, not something we want to be staying in on too much. Swampert is such a great Pokemon. If there is not a grass type or a powerful grass type move on your team, you're finding it hard to take down a Swampert. Straight up. Here comes Starscream. What do you think of the name, guys? Because he's a metal bird, you know. I'm surprised he went for the Earthquake there, knowing that we had Skarmory. I would have been, you know, I would have gone for an Ice type move or something. But yeah, Starscream is now safe to set up at least one hazard. At least one. He's bulky as hell. He's got the Rocky Helmet, so if he makes a physical move, Swampert's going to be losing some health. Well, a physical move that makes contact, obviously. We've got the Roost for recovery, we've got Brave Bird for some damage if we need it, but we're pretty much free to set up some hazards here, and that's always good, especially with that Gyarados waiting in the wings. We want to be getting the residual damage on the Gyarados. I mean, people sleep on Gyarados these days. They don't see him as too much of a threat compared to some of the things that have been introduced in the last gen or two. But seriously, man, that thing is surprisingly bulky for something with that much power. Here comes the Rotom. I was terrified of the Rotom because obviously it can do a lot of damage. We don't have much to resist Rotom's attacks. I mean, we've got Calgon. Calgon resists Rotom. That's about it. We send Janitor in to take the hit, and I believe to try and get the Safeguard up because I don't think we have Safeguard up at this point. And now we reveal our Citrus Berry, which I don't think our opponent was expecting. We get nice and healed up. Bit more usage out of the old Janitor, bring back the screens a bit later. I love running Citrus Berry because your opponent expects you to have Light Clay, but I like to switch Klefki out and in, and out and in. You know, not too often, but I like to be able to, if necessary, keep those screens alive for as long as possible. Should have gone for the Safeguard, really should have gone for the Safeguard nice and early on, because I knew he was running status. There are at least 3 Pokemon on his team that have good sets with status. Maybe more. Should have set that thing up earlier. I mean, fair enough, Klefki does not care about his attack stat, really. But still, you don't want this thing burned. You want this thing around for as long as possible so it can cause your opponent all kinds of trouble. So we set the Safeguard up again. Our opponent sets up Light Screen. You don't really see a lot of Rotoms running support moves like that. I mean, status moves, yeah. Maybe the odd Pain Split. But not a lot of Light Screen users these days, in my humble opinion. Okay, so we're just getting those screens set up, getting ourselves nice and prepped to take on the rest of the team. We know Janitor is probably not going to be able to switch into anything safely again. He's probably not going to be able to take any more or too many more attacks. So really, we need to either get him out of there and preserve him for one final screen, or let him go down for a safe switch. We are looking, unfortunately, slightly behind our opponent at this point. We do have the same number of KO'd Pokemon, but Janitor is not far behind and status. So either way, he's only got one turn left in him. Which is a shame. It would have been really nice to keep him around for a bit longer. But we decided to keep that one turn for a little later, either for a free switch in or for a free screen. Okay, here comes Orsome, the Mega Scizor. Thank Arceus, we set up that safeguard. I don't know why he decided to go for another Will-O-Wisp. Maybe he forgot about safeguard. It's easily done. It's really easily done. I've forgotten my opponents use safeguard so many times. You know, I mean, it is something that I've started to take mental note of more carefully now, or write down on occasion. But seeing as I always forget to write down my opponent's team, you know, I try not to rely on writing things down, because I often forget. Okay, I don't know if our opponent was expecting our banded Scizor, but this is our Mega Scizor. So we're going to start setting up in this guy's face. Now I am hoping and praying, because we are running the Bug Bite Mega Scizor, that our opponent here is running a Citrus Berry on that thing. Rotom Wash often comes with a Citrus Berry. It's one of its most reliable forms of recovery. Well, it is its most reliable form of recovery. Pain Split is just too unreliable, especially with opponents and you sharing your HP. I mean, your opponent needs to be significantly lower HP than Rotom Wash and not be able to take it down to the same level as before in one hit. So we're taking those Hydro Pumps, well, not too well actually. We could be doing a lot better, but look at the stat gains. We have got some decent, but unfortunately, Safeguard and Light Screen have worn off. So we're susceptible to Will-O-Wisp, and those Hydro Pumps are going to be doing insane damage from now on. And he gets the Willow off. How unfortunate is that? First turn with Safeguard down, and he burns our most powerful physical attacker. Straight off the bat. But we get that Bug Bite off, and even with the burn, we steal the Citrus Berry and do half damage. That leaves us in a fantastic position. We are still essentially +2. We have almost, well, we have about 3/4 HP. Fair enough, all of our screens and Safeguard have gone, but this Rotom's not looking good. One more Bug Bite will KO. He's either got to stay in and sack off one of the biggest threats on his team to us, especially because it's such a bulky defensive beast and can take down our Skarmory fairly easily, or he switches out and loses a big chunk of whoever he sends in to Bug Bite. Except for Gyarados. But he doesn't really want to send in Gyarados right now anyway. It's not a good play for him. So here comes the Hydro Pump. Can we take it now the screens have gone? Yes, we can with gusto. Me gusta, me friends. Because that is a specially defensive, max HP, max special defense, Mega Scizor. Oh, yeah. And that thing is a brute. Unfortunately, though, I think the next move is rather obvious. He's got to send in something that is bulky enough to take a good bullet punch to the face. A good and powerful +2 bullet punch to the face. And it needs to be able to take this thing down as well. So we're looking at something maybe super effective. What do you guys think? I know what's coming in. Begins with an S, ends in a T. Excuse me, just drinking some Dr. Pepper. Does that count as product placement? Is that product placement? I think that might be product placement. Well, what's the worst that can happen? Get it? No? Yeah, in comes Swampert, just like I'm sure a lot of you predicted, and just like I predicted as well. No point switching Orsome out, because then we lose the +2 boost, and we'd just be burned. So we might as well get off some boosted bullet punches while we can. It's not going to do much, it is resisted, and that thing is bulky as hell. And that was a crit, guys. But yeah, I just thought, hammer him, try and get as much damage done as possible. I thought we might be able to take an avalanche, and we do. But the burn. But the burn, guys. Good night, Scizor. You did good, pal. You did really good. Taking down that Rotom Wash was a big thing. It was worth having our Mega taken down to get rid of that Rotom Wash. And to take a little chunk out of that Swampert as well. Unfortunately, though, I mean, we're in a good position and a bad position because Skarmory basically walls this thing for days, and the best counter to Skarmory on his team is gone. But he can still take Skarmory down with lots of special, well, with a few special attacks from a powerful attacker. That Tentacruel would cause us, yeah, that Tentacruel would cause us some problems. Okay, so Janitor is making a suicide run here. She knows she's going to get KO'd. But she does also know she can get up a screen. Now, which screen is the most beneficial to us based on our opponent's team? That is the question. But it's not gonna matter. Well, it will matter, actually. If we weren't burned, it wouldn't matter. If we weren't burned, we'd get up to 2 screens now. So our opponent sends in Cloyster, and this thing obviously terrified the hell out of me. Because it can do so much. Is it banded? Is it scarfed? Because that's a thing now. Scarfed would have caused us a lot of problems. Is it Shell Smash White Herb? Shell Smash White Herb was probably the scariest option, and I'm really glad that we've got a good... Well, no, actually, no. Of course, our best counter for that is actually gone. Mega Scizor would have wrecked this thing so hard, and that's why he probably waited until it was out of the way to bring it out. But in comes Padawan, who I know, unless this thing is scarfed, will outspeed Cloyster. This is our Life Orb Lucario, by the way, guys. So it's super effective. Stab, Life Orb, not adaptability, but Life Orb Aura Sphere is coming this thing's way, and boom, there's the KO. I was really happy about that, because even though we resist Ice-type moves, do you want to be taking a +2 Skill Link Icicle Crash from an Adamant Cloyster? No? No, because I don't either. I would not be a fan of that. Here comes Swampert. Now this thing could probably take any one hit from us and then KO us with an Earthquake. That is the problem. So Padawan cannot stay in. Padawan's a really powerful Pokemon, and probably the only Pokemon that we can rely on to take out the rest of our opponent's team. Skarmory will be good to resist those Earthquakes, maybe set up some more hazards, you know, to stall out our opponent. But he's not going to be breaking any teams. So we need Padawan around. I mean, no offense to our awesome Talonwho, the Heatran, but he's not going to be able to do too much against the Mono Water team. And look, he gets the burn. He has had such good luck with those burns today. But yeah, so Heatran is not going to do much to this Mono Water team, so I'm trying to save him for last, just in case. So Padawan gets returned. We're trying to take as much out of our opponent's team with this Skarmory as possible, setting up those traps. We're going to get a Roost off soon, that's the plan anyway. Get the Roost off, recover all that damage, set up some more hazards, more Roost, more hazards, you know, until we're fully hazarded out. Until this is one hazardous place to be. See, right now we're at the same number of Pokemon. But that doesn't mean much, because our stabs are resisted. We do have the recovery though, but our recoverer, our bulky ass Pokemon, is banned. This is never good. This is not what you want. Hello, why is the battle footage all jumpy? I insist that you desist with the jumping, please. Thank you. So I don't know if that was even happening for you guys. It might be been playing completely normally the entire time. But to me, it was kind of like a crazy CCTV video from the 90s. No fun for anyone. Here comes this thing again. Why do Life Orb Greninjas haunt me? Why do they plague my dreams? Seriously. Seriously, you guys. They're so powerful. And they're so fast. There's not really much Starscream can do to Greninja. It can use Brave Bird, fair enough, that'll almost take it down. The Life Orb Recall would take it down. But this thing, I mean, we're burned. Well, actually, no, we are burned. So Brave Bird probably wouldn't take it down. It'd probably be a 2-hit KO. Not that it matters, because once again, Dark Pulse wrecks. If only Steel still resisted Dark. Wouldn't dems be the days? Wouldn't they? That'd be the sweetest. In comes Padawan. Now, I'm thinking, if for some reason this thing doesn't carry extra sensory, we can take down this Ninja Frog Beast with an Aura Sphere. No problemo. But no, he switches out, so we're going to Aura Sphere Swampert in the face! Luckily he's going to take some prior damage. That will probably help. Because to be honest, that thing's bulky as hell, and it's neutral damage from that Aura Sphere there. So it probably would have taken it a lot better had it not been for that prior damage. It might have maybe even been a 3-hit KO. Maybe. But luckily we do outspeed, so there's not much point in our opponent switching out to take an Aura Sphere to the face with something else, so we decide to sack off Swampert. Getting that thing out of the way is a lot of fun for everyone, because it carries the Earthquake, and who wants to be running a Mono Steel team against a powerful Stab Earthquake? Not me. So now that's out of the way, I am a happy Sizz. Indeed. The only thing that I'm worried about now is that Greninja having extra sensory and for some reason not using it before, or that Gyarados being an absolute beastly choice-banded mother biatch. Obviously we'd rather handle a Mega Gyarados, right? Because we're fighting type. It's only natural. Mega Gyarados is a dark type. We Aura Sphere to the face, and we get the KO. But here comes the Gyarados. Luckily, we are not physical attackers, because this thing would intimidate our faces off with its giant mandibular jaws of doom. What? So yeah, now the question is it going to Mega Evolve? Is it going to Mega Evolve? What do you think? If it Mega Evolves, Aura Sphere is the best move. If it doesn't Mega Evolve, Shadow Ball is the best move, because obviously Flash Cannon and Aura Sphere are both resisted while it's water flying. But If it becomes a water dark, then we can beat it with pretty much one Aura Sphere from that range. We'll take it down. But Shadow Ball will not. So it's Mega Evolving, guys. What moves do we go for? Shadow Ball or Aura Sphere? Shadow Ball or Aura Sphere? What do we go for? What do we go for? Did we predict the Mega Evolution? Did we? Did we? Did we predict it? Obviously we just went for it. No, we went for the Shadow Ball. That's right. For some insane reason, even though he'd had no Mega on this team so far, I thought it was a bloody smashing idea just to go for the Shadow Ball anyway. And now watch this. Oh, hello. Yeah, Padawan, good game. You were great, pal. Yeah, you just sit down and have a rest. We got owned. Did you see that? Damn, Gyarados. Damn. And now we've just got Talonwho to stand up to the mighty water combination that is Gyarados and Greninja. Double G's. They're the 7th letter of the alphabet. They G's. Yeah, I'm gangster enough to get that. I know that song. I'm hip with the trends. So yeah, that is going to be the game. Unfortunately, I genuinely believe, that if we hadn't have gone for the frickin' Shadow Ball, we could have won this. Even with a sort of pseudo-type disadvantage, I think we could have won it. But anyway, shut up me. Good game, Captain Klefki. I really enjoyed that. I'd love to rematch you sometime. Thank you for letting us use this footage. You are awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed yet another Mono-Monday Wi-Fi battle. Say goodbye to the Captain, guys. Bye, Captain! Bye, everybody. Love you all. Stay Scizorsome.